Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Entertaining with Tea 2024. Really excited about some great guests, some that, well, I think most you'll know over the next couple of weeks. But I've gotten a peek at some of the recipes, and I'm really quite excited about seeing some of the new twists and turns that our members have come up with to help you entertain with tea. So if you know me, you know that this is my favorite time of year. I love the holidays so much. I know that a lot of people get really stressed out about the holidays, but my theory is that if you plan ahead, there is nothing to be stressed about. I love the decorating. I love the cooking. I love the entertaining. I love the chaos. I just love all of it. And I think that if you have a good cup of tea by your side, then nothing can go wrong. So hello to all of you that are watching. It's lovely to have you here. And thank you, as always, for tuning in. As I said, we've got some really exciting guests today and over the next couple of weeks as well. So without further ado, I'm really excited to introduce our very first guest to you, who I think is going to be a first timer on either Entertaining with Tea or Ice TV, and that's Marc Bohémier. Marc is, with Tea Horse. Tea Horse established in 2017 by Denise Atkinson, an Anishinaabe Ikwe, which in English is an Ojibwa woman, and her partner, Marc Bohémier, who's with us today. Tea Horse is an Indigenous-owned artisanal tea company located on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe peoples in northwestern Ontario. With its proprietary roasting process, Tea Horse has created and produces an industry-first selection of custom roasted wild rice, Ojibwe, it's called Manoomin, and tea blends. And I can tell you that I've had it and it's absolutely delicious. And I'm really excited to have Marc on with me. Hi, Marc. How are you?
How are you doing? I'm really good. Thanks. And just
nice.
I see your Brew Crew black background. I've got my Brew Crew mug.
You do.
I got it a couple of years ago at one of the conferences.
You did. You got that at our conference in 2022.
My favorite mug, and I'm not lying. I love it because I love the way it never tips over.
Yeah. I love the shape of it as well. I'm like you. I think it's a great shape. I don't have mine with me right now, so I can't even share in toasting with you. But it's nice to see that swag has been used usefully.
Every day. So thanks for the invitation. And Denise sends her apologies. She double booked herself. She is right now flying to Toronto. There. Where she's going to be on a panel tomorrow. So she
nice.
Sends her apologies, but then she said, "Hey, remember you got a thing tomorrow with the Tea and Herbal Association." I'm like, oh yeah. So I'm here.
Well, I'm happy to have you, Marc, but tell Denise that she has been missed and well represented by you.
Yeah, thanks. Well, I hope so. And anyway, also, I was expecting her to like I'm technologically chicken, so I'm like, oh my god, if I can't log in or if I can't, yes. And then
you're fine
with my camera or my phone as it stands. And I'm like, no, he was busy. I'm like, oh man, I'm screwed. But
no, you're good. You're absolutely good. Give yourself more credit. So tell me, Marc, what are we making today?
So today we're making something called chai glazed ham.
Uh-huh.
As everyone knows, it's tea, but it's more of a masala chai. But we're using our ManoominChai. So thanks for the intro. It covers our created this roasted wild rice tea or roasted Manoomin blend.
I love it. It's delicious.
And we created our custom ManoominChai. So it's basically ManoominChai spices that we custom picked and added our as sort of a foundational ingredient, our roasted Manoomin, roasted wild rice. What that does, it sort of gives it a little, it sort of mellows things out, and almost not really brothy, but a slight brothiness to it. So it does sort of smooth out the flavor, and it sort of smooths out the way you attack and finish on the tea. So it just gives a very different mouthfeel, we find. And yeah, so with this ham, it's really to honor my mother. When we were growing up around Christmas, every year she made a specific recipe, and I just took it and added our ManoominChai to give it a different sort of a slight different feel, but sort of not feel, flavor. And yeah, so it's really to honor my mom.
Nice.
Also, so that Denise says, well, why don't you make like a mocktail? Or everyone does mocktails. Like there's a lot of people that do mocktails and then they take matcha powder and things of that nature. But what I was always really interested in tea is black. How you with black tannins are great with meat, great to tenderize meat. If you want to do roast beef, roast pork, you add black tea to that. If you like sort of a one with where you have the stock, and so if you put beef stock, you can put beef stock, and then you can take some like a couple bags of premium tea, or you can one of your like metal tea balls or a reusable tea bag, and then you put it in with your roast, and then you cook it like that, and then it does help to tenderize the meat. So I thought let's take something that I'm really familiar with, and a lot of people are around the holiday seasons, like roasted or cooked ham, and just put a different twist on it. So I came up with really I just modified my mom's recipe slightly, and I'm not sure. Do you want me to go through?
I do. The people want to know what you've done and how you make it. So I love that you've done ham because it's obviously it's a favorite option for people that don't necessarily do turkey over the holidays.
Right.
But what you described just now and how you do it is really what I tell people all the time in terms of how to cook with tea, right? Cooking with tea can seem so daunting and oh my God, how do I do it? But really fundamentally, if you understand some basic principles that you just described, you can cook with, you can put tea in absolutely anything.
Yes. What I did, it's a very thin glaze. Got my props set up in front. So what I start with is about 5 grams of, we have our ManoominChai.
Yep.
Like you could buy it, but I mean, if you have masala chai, loose leaf, it's around 5 grams, and here's a tea bags or 2 tea bags worth. If you take bags and you take about a third of a cup of water, boiling water, and just infuse it. So you're gonna end up with pretty strong liquor. So you infuse it for about 45 minutes. Yeah. You can measure out your brown sugar, which is about I gotta read my metric. So it's about a tablespoon or about 15 grams of brown. In case I have dark brown sugar, my camera's set up kind of far away, but if we can see it. They're in tea tasting cups, from the Toronto Tea Festival, and then I take about half a teaspoon or about 1 gram of dry mustard. Okay, and then you either use fresh. This is an orange, as we can see, so you can either use fresh squeezed orange juice if you want the juice of 1 orange. You'll end up with about a third of a cup of orange juice, and so you have equal parts, 1/3 cup of chai and 1/3 cup orange juice. Again, it can be fresh squeezed, it can be pre-squeezed in a plastic jug that you get at the store. And I've even used concentrated orange juice. So if you can a concentrated orange juice, no problem. Take a teaspoon, mix it with a bit of water, and then you have orange juice. What I always do too if I usually have a bone-in ham, I make pea soup. And so I don't want to use the orange rind, and I don't want things too spicy. Like a lot of people will put cloves all over a ham. For me, what that does, it takes, when you go to use the bone for soup, it overpowers the soup, and then you end up with French Canadian pea soup or too orangey, and it really does not go well. I remember one time, the first time I thought, I'll put orange rind. I didn't like my pea soup. In fact, never happened again. So it's very light. It's not very heavy. It's not really thick syrup. It's not like sometimes you buy hams now and they'll include a packet with them, with like some kind of a glaze packet that you smear all over your ham in the last 20 or 30 minutes of cooking. I don't. They're actually pretty good, but in this case, my recipe again is honoring my mom and her recipe that actually came from my French Canadian grandmother. So that's what we do to start. And I'll show you the finished product then. So anyways, once you create that slurry, or glaze, you could call it, in a cup, you just blend it all together, stir it all up, get a brush, some kind of a basting brush, and then you take your hand. This is the final result. So this is a very small ham. I'll try to move it up to the camera. You can see it.
That's a gorgeous looking ham. It's lunchtime here, Mark. Thank you.
It's lunchtime here, and I might have this for lunch. So I'll give you all the angles of it.
Beautiful. Look at that ham.
Very small ham. So Denise and I, we live alone. So except if my son comes over to eat a meal or with his girlfriend. So I got to tell you a bit about the ham. We bought a farmer. We bought half a pig from a local farmer. We have a local abattoir that butchered and cut the meat, and a local butcher in Thunder Bay that did the smoking. And this is, no kidding, one of the best. We have cooked one of the hams already. A very small ham. It's only a quarter of a full ham.
Wow.
It was only like not even 2.5 pounds. It looks big, but it's actually only 2.5 pounds, or a little bit less. So then what I did, you can see on the skin, what I did is I scored it with a really sharp knife. So this ham, the rind.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
A lot of the hams that you get in the store won't have the rind on it. The rind a lot of times is removed. Especially arrow ham, there's no rind. But if you take the time to score they're about a 2 centimeter or 1 inch pattern just of squares. And depending on how you look at it, it could be diamonds. So, it could be really like diamond shreddies back in with those commercials. So you score it. And then, unlike a lot of glazed ham recipes where they cook it at the normal, like 350, I cook it at about 300 degrees, even sometimes 275. And we go right away by basting the ham right away. So not like, again, not at 350. So what happens is when you put that brown sugar and combo, well, it will burn, and it won't caramelize. At 350, it'll burn. And what you're just trying to do is at 300, every 20 minutes or 30 minutes, you baste it. You pull it out of the oven, baste it, put it back in. So it's a bit of a process that you have to, always be, conscious of what you're doing with it and being with it. And you don't want to burn it. Sometimes, though, I will crank up the heat for the last 15 minutes just if it's darker. So what you end up with is this great caramelization taking place. That Maillard effect is taking place as well. And and then you bring it up to about 145 degrees Fahrenheit, or I got to check the Celsius on that, 63 degrees Fahrenheit, or Celsius. And then you let it rest. Like a lot of, if you make roast turkey, roast beef, it's good to let the meat rest for a while. And then after it rests, then you slice it up and
perfect
with your dinner. I mean, I think one of the other big things, like I was saying earlier, is how versatile tea can be. Cooking meat, and the same glaze, you could use it as a marinade. So if you want pork chops, because it is a very thin glaze, use it as a marinade. The acid in the orange will help. It's great with pork chops, good with chicken. I wouldn't use it with beef because I don't like that kind of spice combo with beef, but chicken and for sure pork.
Yeah.
You can marinate it overnight, or you can marinate it for a few hours, and then you can barbecue it. Again, you're conscious once you have any kind of sugar where you can burn it, like where it gets.
Yeah. No, absolutely love that. I think the other thing that you could use it for as well, if you are going to use it with poultry, or even pork actually, because I brine my pork, is to use to make a brining liquid out of it, right? So you've got the sugar, but then you'll add the salt as well, and then use that as a brining liquid, which really just tenderizes the meat and also gives some really nice flavors. So maybe not something I do with a ham, but definitely with the pork and the poultry that you just mentioned, that would be a good alternative too.
And I think the other thing, like we're lucky with the hams we have, and like sometimes the hams you buy at the stores are really, really salty.
Yes.
So it's great to rinse them.
Yes.
I rinse them almost every time I buy a store-bought ham, because I find almost all store-bought hams are way too salty, and then it just kind of overpowers things. I mean, you can always add salt, if you're eating it, sprinkle a little bit of salt on your meat.
Tough to take it out. Yeah.
To mention about, like, people are thinking, well, how would I get all the, like if I want to use tea, I don't want to use my premium tea. But what you can do is you can use premium tea, but drink it, infuse it, and do what you normally do. But
sure.
Take a tea, like something like a cookie sheet, dry out your tea leaves, and then put them in some kind of again, like a tea ball or a reusable tea bag or something that you can put in with your roast. If you're making like a pot roast,
sure.
Use your old tea bags as there's no problem. Or
yeah.
rip bag to good tea, whether it's loose leaf or or in a bag. Good tea is good tea. Just because it's in a bag doesn't mean it's bad tea. You can have premium. We buy, Kevin Gascoigne. We buy a lot of our tea from Kevin and from Camellia sinensis, and premium tea in a bag is just as good as loose leaf. Loose leaf.
But those are definitely not issues, and certainly not ones that we believe in. But I think the versatility of the different types of teas that you can use is really important. I think using a chai, which is great festive holiday flavors, is a really, really good addition to a ham. And as I said, it's a good alternative for people that don't want to do turkey. And I find with ham as well, it's a very forgiving meat, right? Yeah. It's because the hams that you buy are usually pre-cooked anyways, right? So it's about adding flavor and essentially reheating it is what you're doing if you're buying something that's been smoked already. So thank you, Marc. Where can people buy your delicious tea? Share it with everybody.
Well, we're online at teahorse.ca. So just check us out there. Right now with the postal strike, it's really causing us to
terrible. I know.
Use Canada Post, so it's been a challenge. So right now we're asking people to be
patient
with what's going on with the strike right now. And another quick thing I want to say: once you dry your tea leaves, if you do that, you can use it and make a smoker in your oven in a foil packet with hole punched in it. Put your lid on your roaster. You can smoke meat with it in your house. Just make sure
you'll have to pin that for to share with that another time. Right. I love that. Great.
Well, so much.
And thank you.
I won't end with my face. I'll end with my hand.
Well, see, now that's just cruel, because now I'm just going to cancel the rest of the show and get in my car to head to you, which is going to take a few hours. So I might make it by dinner time. I'm not sure.
And so I have first slices and fresh cut cedar boughs from our cedar tree.
All right. Enough. Stop. Thanks, Marc. I really, really appreciate it. It's really good to see you. Love to Denise. And I see a note in the chat from Ron Sadler. He says, hi to Denise. And he says, great recipe.
Thanks to the Brew Crew again for.
Thanks. Thank you to being part of the Brew Crew. Thank you. See you later, Marc. You take care. Bye. 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 All righty. I am going to just pause for one quick second. I'll be right back. There she is again. Fun recipe, as I said, one that we haven't had before. And I think for this time of year, we always tend to think of turkey, but ham is a really, really great alternative. And, marinating, brining, whatever it is that you do, really, really great ways to use tea. So with that, I'm excited to introduce, really needs no introduction, but here I go anyways, the lovely Stephen Twining. Stephen is 10th generation of the famous, yes, he is the Twining tea family, and has known that he wanted to become involved in the family business from the tender age of 8. He joined Twinings in 1985, and after 9 years in a variety of jobs in sales, Stephen transferred to head office in Andover, where he's currently Director of Corporate Relations, incorporating media relations and business visits to Asia, Australia, Europe, Scandinavia, the Middle East, and North and South America. And it is a pleasure to have you on with us, Stephen. How are you?
I'm very well. Lovely to see you again. Yeah.
It's lovely to see you in your gorgeous kitchen, my favorite kitchen backdrop of everybody. So, Stephen, are you ready for the holidays?
Getting there, reasonably organised, and yeah, starting. We had our first really cold snap last night. Scraped the car this morning, and so yeah, that helps get one into the right frame of mind.
I heard that you had snow, and I have to say that as a Canadian, I had to snicker a little bit because, you know, what you call snow is
Sure.
But no, I mean, it's you've had more snow than we have. We've had absolutely nothing, and it's been unseasonably warm here. So, you know, up is down and down is up, it seems.
Yeah.
So are you an early shopper or a late shopper? Are you a last minute guy?
As I've got older, I've got better at starting the shopping earlier.
Okay, so you're organized, so that's a good thing. So you can actually enjoy the holidays.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Oh, yes.
So, Mr. Twining, tell me what you're brewing up for us today.
Some pink lemonade.
Oh, delish. I love. Yeah. Okay, show me.
Some really healthy ingredients, but we're going to start with 300 grams of sugar. Okay, I did warn you. And then we're going to add 300 grams of lovely fresh raspberries. They're still very much available over here in the shop, so I hope they are with you.
Yeah.
And then I have to do a bit of work.
Okay.
So the idea is to get the raspberries into the sugar by a bit of elbow grease and what have you, which is going to take me a few minutes. So the idea is, once you've got it all mixed together, and I might have to finish this one off later because it's certainly not going to get wasted. It's a firm favourite in this household.
Nice.
You then put it aside, and you leave it for 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, lo and behold, you have a lovely gooey mess that I'm now going to pass through a sieve. I'll see if I can get the camera to pick up the color of the liquid that's coming out.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're really going for a concentrate here.
Okay.
The other thing I have done is to brew up a 150 mils worth of the raspberry and lemon herbal infusion, which is going to come into play in a little while.
Okay.
Yep. So we don't want the pips. We want to get all the goodness into the bowl.
Okay.
So we're just going to give it a little squeeze through the
So we're straining out all of the seeds. Okay.
Absolutely.
All
Don't need those in the finished product. And
nice.
Underneath I can already see a lovely. It's a bit like a cordial that is being created.
I was just going to say. I mean, you can use that base for a lot of different things, can't you?
Absolutely. I mean, this is a fabulous summertime drink. Yeah. But hopefully, when we get to the end, you'll see why it also fits into the festive period, Thanksgiving and the holidays and all that, because I think it's just and absolutely. I haven't tried. I've never mixed this with anything else other than sparkling water, which is the other ingredient I'm going to need, and it's just a great, refreshing, nice, almost cocktail-like, a mocktail. Really nice.
But you know that I will, Zimza, and I think you will as well, quickly be able to turn that into a cocktail.
Oh yes, I think I think the sort of Bellini type drink is what we'll be calling.
That's exactly where my head went as well.
Excellent, great minds think alike. So here is my 150 ml of the raspberry and peach, all in. Quick stir with the spoon.
Now, a quick question for you: the tea that you made, did you make a concentrate or is that a normal?
I just added 150 ml of water, so you end up with about 120 ml of finished product. So it is stronger than you would drink it out.
Okay. So it is stronger.
So,
okay.
An average cup or a mug is going to be 200 to 250 ml. So yeah, it's stronger than normal.
Double brew, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this recipe is certainly going to serve 8 people very easily.
Oh my God, look at that
the
color.
Ease of pouring, I'm going to put it back into my jug.
What a gorgeous
And then
color.
it is to treat it like a cordial.
Yes.
Because as you can imagine, with that amount of sugar, it's quite sweet. Even with nice tart raspberries, it is quite a sweet little drink, this one.
Oh, hello. Is that your pup?
Yeah, we have background noises. That's my pet assistant.
I have one of those as well, don't worry.
And we're just going to top it up with sparkling water. As we said, other sparkling things might be added.
Yeah.
A couple of, and I've gone for nice little round ice cubes.
Gorgeous.
To get it chilled down very nicely. You could serve it in a highball glass and stick an umbrella on it just to get people into the festive spirit. But to me, that's just a gorgeous colour. It fits in with Christmas, with the holidays, with Thanksgiving, and anyone who's driving and doesn't want to have a drink, really absolutely gorgeous. I wish I could pass one of these through the screen to you.
I wish as well. Between the ham and your beverage, I should have set up something for myself, and I didn't. So here I am.
Well, I know the recipe will be available. Super drink, very festive.
I love it.
Thoroughly recommended.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. And it's, as you say, it's easy, and it's something that you can, like if you're entertaining, and I think that's the part of entertaining that I think anyways, people get really stressed about, right? Is they just get overwhelmed with it all. But I always say, just break it down into bite-sized little pieces for yourself. So something like you can make your cordial base way in advance.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So take the stress out. Love it.
Yes, and then you have it in a jug ready with the next, or you can make up just a picture of it and go around and top people's glasses up. Very, very easy indeed.
Exactly. Great recipe. Tea is available on the supermarket shelves in Canada.
Yeah. This split is in the UK, it's in the US, so yeah.
I have Germany on the line as well. Hello, Germany. Is it available in Germany?
They would have to find an online retailer who's stocking it.
Okay. All right. That's okay. All right. But they could do it with one of your other flavors, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
So, there you go.
As you so wisely said, tea is so versatile. You can do so much with it.
Love it. Yeah. Ron Sadler is on watching, and he says a hello to you as well.
Well, a very warm greeting to Ron.
So it's always good to see you, Stephen. Thank you so much for being with us. I wish you a Merry Christmas. You're the first person I've said Merry Christmas to this year.
Oh, so I'm honored.
Merry Christmas.
I will reciprocate. You will be the first. Merry Christmas to you too.
Thank you. It's always good to see you, Stephen. And enjoy those drinks for me.
Sorry, but I will.
Cheers. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God, deliciousness. All right. I'm going to share with you one of my favorite holiday recipes, and that is a mulled wine. So, as I said, one of my favorite recipes is the mulled wine, and I say that because it's these festive holiday flavors, and a lot of people are not doing alcohol for whatever reason, or perhaps you're driving and don't want to do alcohol on that particular night, whatever the case is. So, I'm going to share a little tip with you and how to make the same flavors of mulled wine without the alcohol. So essentially, you're going to use everything that you see in the recipe as we just showed you. And the only thing you're going to replace is, instead of the wine, you're going to use cranberry juice. The cranberry juice obviously has no alcohol in it, but what's really great about the cranberry juice is it gives that same mouth feel, that pucker, that dryness that the red wine does in a mulled wine. So I have made this recipe, and people cannot tell the difference. Serve it, not telling them that it is without alcohol, and people cannot actually tell the difference. One of my other favorites is an eggnog. Now, eggnog is not something that everybody loves, but it's if you do, it's a really delicious one to try for the holidays. I think it's one of these recipes, for whatever reason, only comes out during the holidays, and it's probably okay because, let's face it, it is very, very heavy. So here you go. Okay, so like I said, just another one of my absolute favorites, and it's not a recipe that people tend to make themselves, but as you can see, making an eggnog isn't that difficult. It's something that I know is always available in your supermarkets and on your supermarket shelves. So while we're waiting for our next guest, I'm going to share with you some really, really simple ways to actually do some cooking with tea. And as you saw with, I kind of mentioned it when Marc was on earlier, cooking with tea can be really overwhelming, I find, for some people, because, well, it seems like such a foreign concept. But there are some basic ways that you can cook with tea. And if you understand these basic principles, then you can actually apply it to any recipe that you have. So method number one is to use your tea as a brine or a marinade or a sauce. And that means taking any liquid that you have in the recipe itself and infusing tea into it, whatever flavor it is that you like. The easiest one that a lot of people tend to reach for when it comes to savory dishes would be lapsang souchong, for example, because it's got that really nice smoky flavor to it. If you're doing something sweet dessert, then Earl Grey is usually a favorite. Jasmine green teas are favorites. Genmaicha, the Japanese toasted rice tea, is a favorite as well. So basically, you just infuse the flavor into the liquid of your recipe and then just carry on with the recipe exactly as is. Method number two is to grind it down. So the obvious one to reach for would be matcha, which I know our next guest is going to be talking about in just a minute. And that is a stone ground tea. But you can also take a tea and you can grind it down, again, like a lapsang souchong. You can grind it down with complementary spices. So salt and onion powder and garlic and chipotle, for example, to bring out the smokiness in the lapsang souchong. And you can make a rub out of it. So you can put it directly onto whatever meat that you're using, or tofu if you're a vegetarian, or tempeh, or whatever meat alternative that you're using, or you can use it on your vegetables to sprinkle on top of. So two really, really simple ways to integrate tea into your cooking without really having to, I don't know, learn some fancy techniques. So with that, I'm really happy to introduce my next guest to you, and that is the lovely Rona. Rona is the tea ambassador / executive advisor at Ito-En North America. Ito-En, if you don't know about Ito-En, is Japan's #1 green tea brand and the world leading purveyor of premium and sustainably grown green tea and healthy beverages. Ito-En has received numerous awards, to include recognition as one of 50 companies that are changing the world by Fortune magazine for its commitment to sustainability and revitalization of tea farms. So all of that and a fantastic product. Hello, my
Hello,
lovely.
Miss Shabnam.
How are you?
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. How are you doing? Haven't seen you
I'm
in a while.
doing well, and I'm getting hungry listening to you about cooking with tea. I love cooking with tea. I can actually just nibble on essential leaves, let me tell you.
Okay.
But love all your ideas, and thank you for the nice introduction.
Well, you know, you do the work. The introducing is easy. Thank you for being here. I'm glad to hear that you like to eat your tea leaves as well, because I have to confess, I do the same. I like to chew on tea leaves.
Yes.
And I'll tell you a funny story. So I sidelined before we get to your recipe. I had a customer in my previous life when I had my tea company who used to infuse the tea leaves, and she would drink the tea, and then she would use the infused leaves. She would sprinkle that on top of her cereal.
Oh, really? Well, that's a new one. I've not tried that, but I was actually talking to somebody yesterday. I remember having a shinsha, which is, the first pick of the first crop in Japan. And after they, of course, infused the tea and served the delicious cup of shinsha, they also, with the tea leaves, put in a little small plate and put a little ponzu on it, and it was just delicious. And we ate it with chopsticks, and it was just out of this world. So it is interesting. You can, as I said, I have enjoyed sprinkling on my salad and cooking it in rice and all that. But today we're going to be doing a little bit different.
Okay, tell me what we're making.
And I'm going to be shamelessly, that I always talk about our Oyocha, and this is our #1 selling green tea brand. And I don't know if you know Shohei Ohtani.
Yes.
He just won the World Series.
Yes.
He actually made history with his 50-50. I mean, he's just making amazing history. And starting May, he's our global ambassador for Oyocha.
I have heard that.
Very, very exciting. And I was actually just in Japan, and they actually even had a Shohei Ohtani bottle cover. Can you see?
Oh, look at that. Yes, I did see that.
Right, with a little haiku on the side.
That's fantastic.
And so they had a collection of different Shohei Ohtani. But yes, we're very excited. And of course, when he came on as our Oyocha Global Ambassador, at the time, he was a great baseball player, but hadn't won the World Series. And so it's been really wonderful kind of on this journey with him. And he's just, loves our tea. Thankfully.
I mean, a fantastic win for Ito-En. I think it's a fantastic win for the tea category, full stop, period. You know how I feel about that. But with the World Series, that's just another feather in the cap. Yeah. So bravo. Yeah.
And so, before I go into the recipe, I always, every holiday and actually year round, whether it's summer, winter, I mean, I really feel that the Oyocha, which is our ready to drink, is kind of a must have in your refrigerator during the holidays. It's a great alternative to alcohol beverages. You want something clean and refreshing. We have the smaller bottles, we have the large for entertaining. So this to me is just a go-to. But year round, you need to have this, and you can put it in a nice wine glass, which I enjoy doing. And so it sort of looks like you're drinking a little Chardonnay. So you pour it in, and you can actually put like a holiday fruit garnish or something, a little apple or orange, and make it a little festive.
I love it.
So I always talk about, you got to have an Oyocha because it's 0 calories. It's very clean, refreshing, and it has your vitamin C and, of course, your green tea,
Yep.
antioxidants. So it's
all
really
the good stuff. All the good stuff.
Yes. So we'll get into, and of course, it is holidays, so you do need to sort of indulge a little, right?
Just a little.
Just a little. So we're going to do a very simple, this is sort of a white chocolate matcha mocha, and it's just very simple. You can actually kind of prepare quite a bit, which I did just in the sake of time.
Yeah.
But it's wonderful. You can do it, prepare for yourself because you'll be busy during the holidays. You want to take a moment of pause.
Always.
And of course you can, have your guests enjoy. And I thought it was really fun. Like with your guests, you can have all sorts of different mugs. Let's just say, a collection of different mugs and prepare, for each guest. I actually had seen in a store, I mean, they've got the Hello Kitty ones, they've got the Dad, You're the Best. And so you can just have this whole collection of different mugs and prepare this simple recipe for your guests. And again, it's a little indulgent, but it does have your matcha, which gives you your good bit. So very simple. Okay. You melt your white chocolate, which I already kind of did here.
Okay.
And do it stovetop. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Very simple. So you can put it in the microwave. I kind of do it stovetop. If you have like one of those double,
a double boiler,
that's really good to use. So you melt this, very simple. Then of course your matcha, which I used our ceremonial matcha.
Okay.
Today. But we also have our culinary grade. We have our Ituan matcha grade. So you can decide. But I use the ceremonial special today. And then so you would dissolve that with the hot water, and then you would use oat milk. So I have the oat milk, which I love oat milk. I think it really works beautifully with matcha. But I went ahead and did heat it up because you're actually going to have to froth it.
Okay.
So, simple. Now, if you don't have a frother, invest. Where's my little frother here?
They're like,
aren't they? And I love this one. Has a little whisk. You can, but it's so quick, so simple. Yeah, you have the same.
Yeah, it's super. Yeah, I mean, they're super cheap. Everybody, please just go out and invest in one. I know that everybody asks me all the time, well, what if I do? Why don't you have one is my question. Just get one.
Actually, I think it would be fun, even as a gift. You get the whisk, a mug, a little matcha.
Love it.
And make it a little bundle gift, your own personal. So
Love
anyway,
Yep.
Very simple. I have a little mug here today with a nice little, this is kind of a bigger mug. So
That's cute.
basically what you do is you're going to, and I'm going to, let me get a cup. Sorry. Okay. So the white chocolate is melted. So you're going to drizzle into the mug first. Okay. And you can adjust it based on your preference. This one for one mug, and I doubled it. It's like 1 tablespoon of the white chocolate.
Nice.
But this is a bigger mug, so I put 2 tablespoons. And then, I went ahead and kind of dissolved the matcha ahead of time, just in sake of time. That's an easy. So here is your matcha, and you can see it's nice and herbaceously green.
Herbaceously green.
Herbaceously green, yeah. And then I'm going to pour it into my mug. Sorry, it's a little, I think I'm going to pour that in. Okay. So it is into my mug. And then, of course, I heated the oat milk.
Okay.
And it is so quick I went ahead and frothed a little bit, and I'm going to froth again, but it's just magic.
It's super fast.
You can use your bamboo whisk, but you'll be there all day. But this is so simple. And it's a beautiful froth. Oh goodness. Oh, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this?
Yeah, and I can see it. Yeah.
This is a great thing to travel with too, this little frother.
Maybe not in your hand luggage, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good one. Okay. So I am going to pour that a little bit on top of my white chocolate matcha.
I love that. Deliciousness.
Okay. And it's really beautiful. I mean, I should have had a clear glass, but I know you can see the beautiful
I can see it. I can totally see it. Yeah.
So you could, if you wanted, sprinkle a little matcha. it is holidays, and the only time I ever buy the candy cane is during the holidays. And just because, you know, do this, okay, the candy cane, that's a little corny, particularly if you have, so the candy cane is a good stir. This is very holiday, but
I love that because you get some of the flavor, the minty flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
So you can, you know, I can feel the white chocolate and you're blending it. Oh God, and it smells luscious.
You know, I learn something new from all of you every time we do this. I love that.
I don't know. You're just a wealth of information.
No, but this is good. I love this. The candy cane.
And then the biscotti, I really love. This is kind of an anise biscotti.
Yeah.
So it's nice to serve with. And as I said, very simple, but you can prepare this ahead of time.
Yes.
You know, the froth, no. I mean, you
no.
pour your oat milk, you do your little kind of show and tell, and then you pour it on your guests' mugs. But I really like the idea that everybody gets their own special mug. It's kind of
that. I love that. So I'll tell you what I would add to that because I love the idea of the different mugs. I did this a couple of years ago for some segment that we did. I can't remember what it was now. But if you are entertaining, to actually set up like a hot chocolate bar.
Oh yeah, that is. Well, you, my dear, have done amazing.
No. But but exactly what you're describing. So the different mugs, and then people can, you know, they can do the white chocolate, they can do the dark chocolate, they can do matcha, they can do candy cane, they can do marshmallow, cookies, like whatever it is that they want.
Absolutely. And all sorts of, you know, in the fruit, you can kind of zest your orange if you want.
Yes.
I think it really is just a fun, and it really is very, how would you say? Sort of calming because, you know, matcha, as we know, you know, green tea, matcha has, of course, it does have caffeine, but it's a third of what coffee has. But because of that L-theanine, the amino acid, it gives you a little sense of calm,
100%,
and kind of focus and all that. So during the holidays, you need a lot of that because I think one gets quite stressed during holidays. Yes. But the matcha, and of course, you know, the vitamin C, and it's just, it's wonderful.
I love it. I love it. And because I have to, you know, always give the alcohol option to people because that's what I'm now known for, the drinker. Yeah. So what I would add to my bar if I wanted to give people an alcohol option for that is Bailey's.
Yes, you can. That is wonderful. Yes. Why not? So it is holidays. So you can kind of do the virgin one and a little bit of the spiked one. And I think, you know, I love the idea, what you said with having a bar, you kind of get interactive with everybody.
Let people build their own, and your different mugs idea would be great. With the other liquor that would do really well is Godiva does a white chocolate liqueur.
Ooh. Oh my goodness. That sounds wonderful. Gosh, when you think about it, it's kind of endless. You can do with the Cointreau or the Grand Marnier or whatever kind of.
Grand Marnier would be good too.
But
all right, Rona, we need to have a party.
Gotta have the matcha.
Of course, we have to have the matcha.
I know.
Well, it's always a delight to see you, my lovely.
Likewise, Ms. Robnum, always a pleasure. And you know, we do have a portfolio of teas. Of course, our tea bags are always a good thing to travel with. I know that, you know, when you travel as well, and I do. I have my little Ito tea bags, and we also actually have the sticks. So you can.
It's the sticks that I travel with.
Yeah. So I think you can go with the bottles, the cans, and but always have green tea in the holidays.
So, because we have an international crowd with us today, which is fantastic. We've got Victor from Kenya is on here as well.
Oh my God, how great. This is exciting.
I know. Harris T is here. And as I said, I've got Tristan from Germany and Melina. I don't know where Melina's from, but anyways, tell us. You can get your Ito products in Canada.
Yes. I mean, our Oicha definitely is all over and online, but yes.
And the U.S. Good.
Yes, of course, U.S. Okay. And we are really expanding. I mean, our Oicha right now, we're like in 40 countries, and we just opened office in Dusseldorf, and you know, India. We're going to be growing, which is what we love. So, Runa-san, my dear.
Good.
We always have. And thank you so much. And it's wonderful to be in company with our tea comrades. And I always love the Sofa Summit that you do annually. So it really feels like traveling the world without really having to travel, which is a good thing.
Okay, so when I said international, I'm really not kidding, because Melina just wrote that she's from France. So I literally have.
That's wonderful.
I know, we're from everywhere today. So yay.
Well, thank you, Shabnam.
Thank you, Rona.
Fun. And
thank you.
Happy holidays to everybody.
And to you.
We hope you enjoy our teas.
Thanks, Rona. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Delicious, fun. We had our main course. We've had a cocktail, mocktail, and we've had dessert. So brings us to my last guest today. Always one of my favorites, Cindi Bigelow. Cindi is third generation president and CEO of family-owned Bigelow Tea, U.S. market leader of specialty teas. Before assuming this key role, she spent over 20 years in all areas of the company that her grandmother founded in 1945. Bigelow Tea is headquartered in Fairfield, Connecticut, with additional manufacturing plants in Idaho and Kentucky. Cindi has consistently improved company performance by strategically expanding in the U.S. and international markets, as well as by tapping into new channels and innovative products. This includes adding creative new blends to the signature and organic lines, launching seasonal teas, and bringing to market wellness and immune support teas that feature ingredients with functional benefits. In 2002, the company became the leader of the specialty tea category, and in 2020, achieved the #1 overall tea brand in the United States. Bigelow Tea, maker of Constant Comment, everybody's favorite, remains a 100% family-owned business and employs 450 people, producing over 2 billion, that's a B, tea bags annually. Recently, Bigelow Tea was certified by the Women's Business Enterprise National Council as a women-owned and operated small business in the United States, socially and community-minded. Cindi frequently makes appearances, speaking to students and industry leaders, sharing insights on business ethics, leadership, marketing, and has received numerous awards for her years of community service. She's been a major champion of sustainability throughout the organization. In 2012, Bigelow, due to their unwavering commitment to recycling and composting, was designated a zero waste to landfill company. In 2019, the company was certified a B Corporation with recertification in 2022. In 2020, Bigelow earned the designation of being a Green E certified company, sourcing 100% renewable energy for all Bigelow locations in the United States. And I can tell you that not only is she a delight to have on, but also, by the way, they make some pretty cool teas. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm really good. How are you, Cindi?
Well, thank you for all the kind things that you were saying about us and my family and me. I really appreciate that. It's a pleasure to be here with you again.
As I said to Rona, you guys do the work. I just do the introducing. I just tell what you are actually doing. So it's not made up, and it's hugely appreciated. And from my end, always a sincere thanks for being here. So are you ready for the holidays, Miss Cindi, or are you a last minute shopper?
Well, there's so many emotions I'm dealing with right now, but I will just say that, I'm trying to appreciate what I do have. I have an amazing company with really amazing people. When you reach out and say, do I want to be part of this? They're the first ones with their hands up, and they put so much time and effort into making sure that our time together is really well thought out and well planned. So, I just try to, what helps me during times of difficulty is to appreciate what I have. And what I have is great teas and, more importantly, great people. So, yeah, it's fun for me to be here. Am I ready for the holidays? I don't know how to answer that. Again, I want to enjoy my family that I love desperately and my friends. And, just make sure I do. I try to message to the employees all the time, and I mean that. Just take a moment for yourself and honor the love that you do have around you. So that's what I'm doing right now, Shabnam. I don't know about you.
I think that's a really important message, because I think that we sometimes forget that the holidays are very difficult for some people, and I know that this year is particularly difficult for you and your family. It's one of many firsts for you. taking that time to reflect and sort of, have that inner time, I think is important, especially amongst all of the chaos. So, our thoughts are with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But again, I'm so happy to be here. And it's so fun to see your other speakers and what they do. And, what my team came up and thought about, which was so fun because we do, true story, we meet obviously in advance in preparation for our time with you. And so they show me the recipes. We talk about them and what's the right name and is that the right teas and is that the right recipe? And, there have been times when, I'll drink them and I'll say, hey, can we add this? Can we add that? This particular year, I drank everything going, this is just a home run. So I'm really excited about the little joyful beverages I'm going to share with you.
Okay. So share away. I know you've got 2 to share with us.
I do have 2 to share with you as I quickly turn on the boiling water. One thing we're going to do is a pumpkin spice flight. So for me, I have to first start with letting that tea steep while we move on to the second recipe, which is a very, don't want to get this right, very merry mulled wine, which you did something similar.
Yep.
Happens to be so good. And one of my teammates did make the very merry mulled wine at a party. And I'll just say buyer beware. So I'm going to open up our pumpkin spice, which is one of our many holiday teas. We have holiday teas that focus on the fall, and we have holiday teas that focus on the winter. And they've been very successful for us. But we're also always challenging ourselves. Are they the right ones? Do we need to relook at them?
Yeah.
This particular one I'm sharing with you, the pumpkin spice, has been a winner since day one. It is one of our most popular. So it's very exciting for me. And we also know how flights are so popular, right?
Yes.
Wine flights, beer flights, coffee flights. I mean, there's all kinds of things going on. So we're doing a pumpkin spice flight. So let's start there. You really should let them steep for a minimum of 2 minutes. But you can use so many other teas besides our pumpkin. You'll see up here on the corner, we also have our caramel, which is so good. We have salted caramel. We have eggnog in. There's so many bases that you can do to create a flight. And I do think it's kind of fun to do this with friends and family. Turn that off. I'm going to do a little dunking. Why am I doing dunking? I don't know. I was raised to do a little dunking. I know better than to squeeze at the end. We're not doing that.
I was just going to say, you know better than that, but I think it's the instant gratification.
There's just something that goes on here. Has to be done. So while I let these beautiful products steep, and already, as my grandmother used to say, the olfactory experience is starting to fill the room.
Nice.
Don't you love that term?
I'm
going to come over here for our very merry mulled wine. Notice I have to keep reading it.
I do.
Merry. It's very merry. So this is very easy. Again, you sort of take your crock pot, which is kind of becoming popular again.
Okay, that's okay.
I mean, like, for me, I was like, wait, isn't that from 40 years ago? But people are really starting to have these again to make life easier for cooking.
Yeah.
And they're also great for a party.
Yeah.
So you take your crock pot, a red wine of choice, already opened, and you just pour it in. And the good news is, you don't have to use a very expensive red wine in this particular case, but a nice one. Pour that in. It's very satisfying for some reason. Then, again, you have to turn it on high. We're, in our case, going to use cinnamon stick. This is an oldie, but a good one. This was created by my grandmother. I can't tell you how many years ago. But again, this is just one of the many Bigelow teas you can use. We definitely recommend a black tea base. And as you can see here, we also have Constant Comment. We have ourselves a vanilla chai, one of our favorite that also does well. And I don't know if you can see those teas because of the name maybe in the way, but those are great options as well. So you can take only 4 of those bags. You can put more in if you like. You can also do any combination. That's what I love about Bigelow tea.
I was just going to say, I know that, you've got your tea drawer at home and you like to do your combinations. So
the tea drawer is amazing. I'm also having fun throwing these in there.
But adding the Constant Comment to that would be a really nice complementary flavor, wouldn't it?
You know what? Let's throw in one.
Oh, you're going to do it now. Okay.
We're going to put in a Constant Comment. But before you could put in a Constant Comment, you must open it and smell.
It's
Oh my
it's
God.
delicious. If anybody has not had Constant Comment, I don't know what rock you're living under, but please get out and buy yourself some Constant
Well,
Comment.
you know, it is the original recipe that my grandmother created,
I
you
know.
know, until
I
my
do.
father passed, which actually was not this year, last year. He and my mother were the last ones to make, because my family only made it, including my sister, while she was alive, only one that made the Constant Comment recipe. And so one of the last things my dad did before he was unable to come to the office anymore, March of 2022, he made one of the last batches of Constant Comment. It is now made by an individual that's worked with us for many years and is like family, but it is a recipe that it's held close to the heart for sure. We're very careful about that.
Yep.
And one of the things when I say I want you to smell it, that's why we, and this is going to sound like a commercial, but it's the truth, we put everything in foil because that's the only way to keep the volatile oils in. Air out, moisture out, you know, light out or from going in. And when you smell that, you can see why. You've got to protect the beautiful ingredients we have. So you're going to put those all in. Again, it's on high. You can take about 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. You're going to put that in there, or you're going to drop the whole thing in, which is what I just did. That might give it a little extra flavor. Enjoyable.
Live TV.
And then just oranges or apples, whatever you would like. Just put them in there. Again, 1 hour on. High, stir a little bit, and then after an hour on high, it's cooked. You're gonna take your tea bags out of there. Then you're gonna put it on low to keep it warm. And what's kind of fun is you could just keep putting bottles of wine in there, because to be honest, this is only going to go so far. Like if you have a party and people are enjoying this could be gone after 5 people just showed up. So I do recommend that you have many more, and then you could just keep filling it. The fruit, you don't need to keep adding. Maybe a little more sugar as time goes on, but also more tea bags. Just can continue to put it in and keep it on low and let it keep going. But it's delicious. Be careful. It's too good. And
it goes down. It goes down too easily, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
and we'll make sure we have a little toast for that at the end, because this is my already cooked version.
Nice.
Now, if I come over here, I'm going to move all my foils onto the other side, and we're going to do our flight of salted caramel. Of pumpkin spice. It could be anything else: salted caramel, eggnog, etc.
Yep.
And we're going to take it out. I think that's about the right time. The color looks very good. Again, has to be boiling water. You know that for sure. Without boiling water, you're not going to extract the flavor that you need to really produce the cup of tea, especially if you're drinking it straight.
I love the idea of doing a flight. I think that as you just said at the top here, that we know wine flights and beer flights and coffee flights, but people don't really think about it for tea. And I think it's a really, really nice way if you're doing a dinner party to have a nice flight, right? And then maybe little desserts to match with it, and that becomes your dessert course of the meal. Do you know what I mean? It becomes a whole experience.
Also, you can lay out different tea bags for them. They can make their own decision on what they want to put. So you can have different tea options, obviously black tea based, obviously Bigelow. Oh, sorry, did I say that? And then also what you can add to it, which is great. Wait, I did forget something. Cinnamon sticks.
Cinnamon.
Ready?
Yes. Plop. Plop.
They belong over there too.
Yes.
So that we have that cooking over there for a while. We'll put our little
right.
lid on so we look official, although we're really not cooking it, to be honest. It is off. I don't want to cause any problems.
It's the magic.
Now, here's what we're going to do for options. What my team came up with, which is great. The first one, I have to look this up. It's called cold foam. Are you familiar with cold foam?
I am not.
Oh, thank God. I thought there was something wrong with me. All right. Cold foam, which I've had to keep looking. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Cold foam is 3 tablespoons milk.
Okay.
4 tablespoons whipping cream.
Okay.
A dash of sugar. And then you take those little
Yes.
Is that a name? Or is it just called and yeah.
Well, that's the technical term that you're using.
Yeah.
Yes.
Zizz it.
Yes.
And that's cold foam.
Okay.
Then you have coconut milk. That's obviously people know coconut milk. And then you can also make your own whipped cream, which is what we did with whipping cream. And then we just put a little sugar. And then that was the real.
Okay.
Notice the sound differences.
Okay. Very technical.
Totally different products.
Yeah.
Then I have in front of us, I have cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
I have coconut sugar. Okay, I'm going to ask you again. Are you familiar with coconut sugar?
That one I have to say yes. I've used it before.
Oh, okay,
Sorry.
fine. I didn't know coconut sugar. Thank you for knowing coconut sugar.
Sorry.
And then we have these little festive, little decorative things. And then we have caramel. And of course, we have Bailey's, because I think you need as much alcohol as possible when you can deal with these things. So we're just going to make different combinations. But I love it. Think about all the different ways you can use these. So in this particular case, I'm going to take a little of the cold foam, which you now know what it is, right?
I do.
That's what people use, I think, for like lattes, etc.
Makes sense. Yeah.
That
Wow.
I did that really well. Then I'm going to do this. Well, I think I need that spoon again, maybe. A little bit of the cinnamon.
Nice. Sprinkle on top.
Come on now, people. Come on now, people.
Gorgeous.
Look at this. Can you see how beautiful
Gorgeous.
that
I
is?
can totally see it. It's beautiful.
Let me try this one.
Too.
You know what? That cold foam is amazing because it's got a little bit of sweetness to it, so you really don't have to add sugar to the tea.
Yeah.
Home run. That is a home run.
That is a
Okay.
home run.
Now I'm going to take coconut milk.
Okay.
It's coconut milk, right, family? Oh, I lied to you. It's oat milk. I knew I did that wrong. I
It's
can
oat
tell.
milk. Okay.
My team had to save me on that one. That was a off the cliff.
Even better.
It's a little oat milk.
Okay.
You can see how much I use oat milk normally. Dash of oat milk. Ooh, very lovely. And now it's coconut sugar. That's where I got confused.
That's okay. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
Me
All right.
too. Okay, it's very confusing over here. Okay, a little topper. Oh, these spoons are so much fun to use.
Cute.
Okay, what I need a spurt. I'm gonna have to stir with this one too. I let you know how this one, I like this with the oat milk.
Yep.
It's good. It's
Delicious.
much more T-E-E-E,
Okay.
whatever that means. This is much more festive E-E-E-E.
Okay. All right. Is
I'm going
it?
back to this.
Yeah. Okay.
The cold foam is good. The
Yeah.
last is now a little whipped cream. Who doesn't love whipped cream?
Well.
My team did such an amazing job making whipped cream. A dollop, well done. A little bit of our decorative or fall-ish sprinkles.
And what's in your sprinkles?
There's just sugar sprinkles. They're just decorative little sprinkles.
Ah. Okay. Got it.
You can
Got
get them like Christmassy looking. You go to the
yes.
store,
Okay. Yeah.
kind of everywhere.
Got it.
Okay. Once again, might have to stir this a dash. Oh, this is looking lovely.
Oh, that-
Very festive. Very fun. Very
It's
fun.
just-
Very easy.
It's dessert in a cup, isn't it?
Oh my God, yeah. And so healthy for you, the benefits of black tea. We could go on forever about that. Okay, and lastly, could be my favorite, but I haven't drank it yet.
Okay.
Bailey's.
That's would definitely
So
be
that's
my
why it has to
favorite.
be a black tea base because it's got to
Yes.
be able to hold the Bailey's. Like you're not
Yeah.
going to put this in the herbal and taste anything.
Yeah.
Oh, notice I put it all in.
Delicious.
Okay, now caramel.
Oh
Come on,
my
people.
God.
I think my team is brilliant. Just saying.
I think your team is brilliant as well.
I know they are actually.
We have to come and do this in person one day, Cindi.
This is so good. You know, you're not getting to drink these with me. Oh, come on now. Now, the other thing they told me is true. I could put a little caramel over here
Yes.
as well. I mean, there's just,
Yeah.
let's wait. Let's just keep going for a minute. Let's just do a little dab of this. Let's go wild. Let's
whipped
go
cream.
off script.
Well,
This could be.
but this is what I was saying to Rona earlier. Like if you set up like a tea bar, a hot chocolate bar, whatever you want to call it, and put all of this stuff in, you can mix and match any of these, couldn't you?
Mhm.
Right?
Oh, put a little whipped cream. Yes, whipped cream and a
Yes.
little cinnamon. Let's try it.
Oh, delicious. Well, come on, what could go wrong? You've got tea, you've got Bailey's, you've got whipped
Wait,
cream.
I'm not kidding
Come
you.
on.
This Bailey's goes so well with this pumpkin spice.
Nice. Delicious.
I'll be back. Oh, sorry. So I really do. I do mean this. You know, your whole point is to come up with creative ways.
Yeah.
First of all, you help us talk about our own companies, which I thank you for. But you give us creative ways to use tea. And I do think for the holidays, it is fun. It should be very easy, whether it's the very merry
merry.
wine, or it's a flight of different teas that you can offer to your guests with different fun toppings, easy to do. Great conversation piece, really
Yeah.
delicious. The health benefits of the tea underneath it. I mean, it's just a fun, easy thing to do. So it's great that you give us the opportunity to think about these things and then to share them with the listeners, which is really great.
Well,
really great.
listen,
Got to come back over here and try.
You
this
have to
one.
come back to. You have to come back to your mulled wine for sure. Hang on, I'm holding.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Too good. Dangerous. Yeah. It's like a sangria. It's like you got to be careful. It's just
that's exactly what it's like.
The different teas kind of also, because when we were thinking about when we're coming up with names, my team also said, how about Winter Wonderland Sangria? So it was a debate whether to call it Winter Wonderland Sangria or Very Merry Mulled Wine.
Very Merry Mulled Wine was definitely the right choice,
so?
in my opinion. Well,
let me try it again. Let me see. What do I think when I'm drinking it? I don't know. Yeah. It's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So very fun, very fun. And you know what? I am having more family over than usual this year, which is really fun for me. And maybe I'm going to do this option and let everybody kind of sit around a table and make little tea, their own special tea drinks for
and make
dinner.
Their own special tea drinks. Exactly. I love it. And I think it's such a nice surprise for people because it's unexpected. Maybe not at your house, but I think in most
at my house it would be expected because what are we going to do?
Well, this is it. Right? Maybe not at your house, but I think for a lot of people, it's so easy. It's not complicated. And to show people how to enjoy tea in an unexpected way, I think it's just, brings the fun back into our favorite beverage.
Well, plus also it is a great conversation piece. And
yes.
It is nice for people to talk about something, positively and that's good for them, et cetera. That's the beauty of tea. I always said, I'm so proud that my grandmother got into the tea business 80 years ago. I don't know, back then they weren't talking about the health benefits of tea and how good it was for your mind, body, and spirit, to be honest. Yeah. And so, it makes me so proud to be able to lead this company, 450 wonderful humans and 2.2 billion tea bags. And I say 2.2 billion cups of joy. And they really are 2.2 billion cups of joy.
Well, that's a pretty good way to spend your days, I think. So tea proudly to you. And thank you for being part of our brew crew. I thank you, as always, for delicious, delicious recipes. I was saying earlier, we've got a very international crowd watching today, which is really exciting. We've got France and Kenya and Germany, and I know we've got US on. We definitely have Canada on. So thank you, Cindi, as always, for sharing some deliciousness with us. Your teas are available online. So as I say,
I'm very, very fortunate. We're very fortunate. We always say Bigelow tea is easy to love, easy to find, easy to share. And part of the easy to find is that it is available, I think, pretty much where everyone likes to shop. Wherever is your preference to shop, we believe you can find our product.
Perfect. Can't ask for anything more. So a very Merry, Merry Christmas to you, Cindi. To your fantastic team that I know are around you. So lots of love to them, to your family at large. And it's always lovely to see you and to have you here. Thanks, Cindi.
Yeah, and same to you. I hope you get a wonderful holiday. And I hope you recognize how much all of us in the tea industry appreciate everything you're doing. You really are the most amazing ambassador for what we think is the best beverage in the world, really.
Wow. It's easy to do with such a fantastic beverage, but thank you. Received and appreciated. Thank you.
Good. All right. Easy to share with you. All righty. Thank you again for including us. And I already feel the 3 sips that I had. I've got to work the rest of the day. This could be a problem, but I'll make sure I'll have a good stiff cup of black tea to get me going.
Exactly. Good. You take care, Cindi. Bye.
Okay. Bye, sweetheart. Thank you. Thanks for including us.
Bye. Okay, deliciousness. If you're not hungry or thirsty or tempted after all of that, I don't know what to tell you. As I said at the beginning, I'm always excited. I say this every time. I know you hear this all the time, but I personally learn something new every single time. So I know that you're learning something new every single time. Easy, simple, and a really great way, I think, to integrate this gorgeous beverage into your entertaining. I think that one of the key elements of entertaining, as I said at the beginning, and also as I was talking about with Stephen, is make as much as you can ahead of time. I think it's the last minute things that get people frazzled and really overwhelmed when it comes to entertaining during the holiday season. As we just said as well, keep in mind that, the holidays aren't always easy for everybody. So just, taking a moment for yourself and having a cup of decadence just for yourself and entertaining your inner happiness is good as well. It doesn't always have to be with a crowd. So thank you to all of you who've tuned in. Thank you for my lovely international audience. It's wonderful to have you with us. I hope you tune in next Wednesday at the same time. All of our recipes will be on our YouTube channel underneath this video, so you can replicate them for yourselves at home. It's a pleasure to always have you here. Thank you as always, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye-bye.